and you know, seeing a little bit how game one goes, how deep Burnesy goes, all those type of things.
Brandon, are you happy with the composition right now of the bullpen?
Of what? I'm sorry, Rich.
Of the bullpen and the options that you have.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of good stuff down there, and I think we have guys that I can put in different roles. Without kind of having set roles down there, I can try to mix and match the best way I possibly can. This is a really good, really good team. It's a really good lineup. We're looking more into it, but I'm really happy with how we played on this last road trip, and I'm really happy with how we threw the ball. But I do have a lot of options down there.
Is having as many lefties in the bullpen as you do a challenge, a strength, something that might force you to not be able to match up as well as you might with all righties?
Well, they're all a little bit different, so it's not lefties with with similar stuff. All four guys, kind of bring a little something different to the table, and I like that. I like to have different options, and certain guys get more lefties out than righties, etc. So the more guys you can have like that make it tough on opposing manager, that's ideal.
Are you impressed with the way Danny's pitched since he's been back in the mix down there?
Yeah. So Danny, got his feet wet a little bit, getting in a few games, continuing to feel good, continuing to feel healthy. Danny's unique, and he's got unique breaking balls, and so the ability to get lefties and righties out is really important.
Last year, I know it didn't end the way you wanted, but is there anything that you do take from last year's postseason going into this one?
I just think the experience of it, the experience for these guys of playing in this type of stage, this many people that are going to be here. We're excited to play in front of our home fans. There's going to be a lot of energy in the ballpark, and it's just another, for a lot of our guys hadn't played in postseasons, before last year, and to have that experience is going to be, I think it's going to work out well.
Brandon, closing out games, who do you see, or is it more matchups as to whether you go with strictly Soto or you mix and match?
It's kind of however I get there a little bit, and that's kind of what. Hope we get try to piece it together, and then try to match up whether seventh, eighth, and ninth inning how we see fit. I thought we did a pretty good job of that in the road trip, and a lot of trust in a lot of those guys. Sir Anthony's pitched in big games in postseasons, 9 out of 10 of saves for us. Soto's been a closer. CNL's got really, really good stuff, and Yenny's got that sinker. So there's some options down there, and Keegan Aiken's had a great year. You look at Keegan Aiken's body of work; it's had a fantastic year. Yeah, Cole's one of the premier left-handers in the game. He's got great stuff. We're gonna have our hands full with him. This guy, he's got big time fastball, and he's tough to hit. So it's gonna be a challenge.
Brandon, you were preparing for two teams. One that you'd seen the previous 2 weekends, and this team that you haven't seen since April. How difficult is it to prepare for a team that's much different than it was when you saw it 5 months ago?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a scramble. A scramble for them too, right? They weren't sure who they were going to play, and that's part of postseason baseball. Sometimes is that the season's over, and then you gear up quickly for the opponent. And we haven't seen Kansas City in feels like a long time. Congratulations to them on having an incredible year, and Matt and his group. It's a great coaching staff and a really, really good team, and I'm happy for Matt and that group because they've gone through some things that had a tough year last year, and the rebuild and everything. They've done an amazing job over there. So we're scrambling right now and preparing as well as we possibly can, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Do you see similarities between their rebuild and the one that you guys went through? Like 21, you guys lost 110 games and you had a great year in 22, just missed out on the playoffs. They had a similar kind of going from last year to this year.
Well, they have a Hall of Fame player, and one of the best players in the game, right, hitting right in the middle of their order. They did a great job this offseason of combining their youth and their talent with some awesome veteran guys. And we know one of them over there in Adam, but they're starting pitching. They did, it's a really nice combination of youth and veteran guys.
From what you saw from Mountcastle, Urias, and Westberg down the stretch, do you feel like they got enough at-bats to get their time back?
Yeah, no, I thought all three played well on the road trip. And yeah, I think going into the trip, I wasn't quite sure how, just because they didn't have a ton of rehab at bats, how they were going to play. And right away, they all were playing great when they got here. So they made a huge impact in our lineup.
Brandon, how confident are you that you can kind of control their running game a little bit more so than you did earlier in the year?
Yeah, well, it's kind of pitcher dependent a little bit, but Burnesy the last few starts has done a great job, controlling the running game. But these guys are aggressive and they're going to run, and we know that. And we have to do a really good job of being able to mix up our looks, and kind of in the era right now of not being able to do certain things on the mound to control the running game. We have to do a good job of limiting it as best we possibly can.
Brandon, getting to the postseason, I mean, it's so difficult in this game. Going back to last year, it seemed so easy for you guys the whole season, the number 1 seed. Then it was over so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This year, do you sense, or how much do you sense a feeling from your guys of kind of not taking anything for granted and kind of not approaching it differently, but just enjoying the moment and not taking it for granted?
Yeah, it's just 2 totally different years, and next year is going to be totally different too. I mean, the seasons are long for a reason, and last year there were so many things that went right throughout the regular season. The one thing that went wrong was Batista there at the end, but it felt like we won a lot of games that maybe we shouldn't at times. We had a lot of late inning comebacks. And this year was just a little bit more of a grind. We had way more injuries. We had guys go down. We had significant, we had a big part of our rotation that we lost. We lost an all-star third baseman for almost a half. So there's a lot of things that we dealt with that we didn't have to deal with last year. I'm hoping it makes us tougher, honestly. I think that the adversity that our guys went through this year is, I think it's going to benefit. I hope it benefits this postseason. I think it's going to benefit these guys in the future. And I think last year's experience of what that felt like at the end, when we did have that, this kind of fairy tale season, and then just the quit exit. I'm hoping that these guys still have that taste in their mouth and going into this postseason. I think they do.
You kind of touched on Bobby Witt Jr. earlier, but what have you seen from a part of his rise this season, and any similarities between him and Gunnar Henderson?
I think there's a lot of similarities. They're 2 of the best players in the game, but Bobby's, that's just like Gunnar. It's just oozing with talent. Just can do everything. Can do everything on the field, and can beat you single-handedly, and just like Gunn can. So, he presents a huge problem. Plays a premium position like Gunnar does, and that's gonna be 2 great players in this league going forward.
Last year, you guys ran into the start of what ended up being a really good run by Evalde through October. Pitching's changed so much, playoff pitching's changed so much, but at the same time, what is the value of a tone setter, a guy you can throw out in a game 1 series after series?
Yeah, we feel great about Corbin going game 1. He's especially with what he's been doing in September. He's had a heck of a year. He's a guy that can beat anybody on any night, and to have a guy like that with that kind of stuff, that kind of confidence, Corbin Burnes is pitching, you expect to win that night, and that's how our guys feel.
Brandon, you look back on it now. Is the rest between the end of the regular season and the start of the playoffs beneficial, or do you like going right after it?
I don't know. It's kind of did that long layoff last year affect us? Maybe. I think we ran into a team that was absolutely got scorching hot in Tampa and just continued it all through the World Series. But for me, that's not really an excuse. You still got to still playing the game. I'm hoping that, I thought we just played really, really well on that two series trip, and I'm hoping that we can continue to carry that momentum into this series.
Throughout the year, you have worked hard with bullpen rest to not pitch guys 3 days in a row, but this series could be 3 games, 3 days. Would you be open to an adjustment there?
Yes. Yeah, this is more of a sprint. I'm not looking long term here. This is trying to win 2 of these 3 games. Even in the national spot.
It is Brandon Hyde's mark. We shouldn't be because he's been thinking. But I'm glad I. Yeah, I looked at Hot Rock and was like, wait, 4.
Somebody else say maybe Dean Crank.
I don't know. None of those things out there hurt again. Yeah. Staying dry. I really don't have a frame. Yeah, or something like that. It's like get like a higher things you're afraid of.
He would not. Right. He would. In fact, I asked him that last year.
Corbin, are there challenges with facing a team that you haven't seen since April?
Yes and no. Obviously, we haven't seen them in 5 months, so it's going to be a little bit different looking team than when we faced them then. Obviously, you play 100 and something games since then. Team's identity is a little different, but for me, it's same process as usual. Going through my business of doing my homework and watching video and being prepared, and I'll be excited to get out there tomorrow.
You guys finish out the season with a couple of wins to finish out 2024. Now looking at the postseason, do you feel like you guys can now harness that mentality and the morale in this club and push that forward so that you guys continue on the momentum?
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret that our second half wasn't what we wanted it to be. I think we fought ourselves a lot the second half of playing good baseball and then kind of struggling for a little bit. So to kind of see how we played this last week was good. We got the offense swinging the bat, pitching, we threw the ball well. Went into New York and took 2 or 3 there, and then and then won that last series in Minnesota. It's a good momentum, builder going into the postseason. We've got a good baseball team, and we show that in the first half, and hopefully this last week of what we did is a good builder into the postseason.
Corbin, you rebounded from August and had a bunch of strong starts last month. How much did reaching the postseason feel like a deadline to kind of get right and have your own performance at a postseason level?
There's not really a deadline of anything. Whenever you have a bad one, you want to come back and have a good one. August, we didn't do that very much. So just to make some changes, get to where we wanted to be in September, regardless of how many starts it was more just about making good pitches and executing pitches. And we did that for the month of September. So it's good, a good building ground to get into the postseason of what could be a long month. Pitches wise, mechanics wise, body feels great. We're in a good spot.
You started the first game of spring training, started opening day. Now here you are starting game one of the Orioles playoff run. The Orioles have put you front and center every time they've kind of begun their path forward. What has it meant to you to have that responsibility with this team of kind of setting the tone for what you're hoping now is a long October run?
Yeah, it's an honor. Like I say, to get the ball opening day, to get the ball game one of the postseason. Not many guys get to do that in their career. I've been fortunate to do it a couple times, and to do it in my first year here in Baltimore special as well. This is a great group of guys, and they accepted me from day one when I came in, like I was part of the family, and had a great spring training, great year. So it's a credit to those guys for accepting me as quickly as they did, and meshing in that clubhouse the way we did, and just excited to go out and take the ball and lead the charge for these guys.
What's the biggest challenge in going from the big picture 6-month-long grind of the season to it's 2 out of 3 right now, and that is 3 out of 5 to flip that switch mentally? What's the biggest challenge there?
Yeah, when you're looking at the full 162 game season, you're kind of looking at the long haul of it. As a team, you can have a bad month and come back and have a good month, and you haven't lost any ground. So, postseason's different. You got to take one win at a time. A lot of times you can't move on to the next day unless you win the day before. So, postseason baseball is a different monster. Knowing that this wild card sets the best of 3, it's important to win game 1 tomorrow so that you can win game 2 and get the extra off day and set things up into the DS. So. It's just different. You can't look to the long haul. You're looking one day at a time. You always say that in season, hey, one day at a time. But in the back of your mind, you're always looking at, hey, it's May. We got to make sure we're ready for August, September, October. So we're here. We're in October. It's time to go. So we got to come out and we got to play good baseball tomorrow.
Corbin, when you're on the mound in the actual moment in a playoff game, does it feel different to you, or does it just feel like another start?
For me, I try to treat it as every start's the same. Spring training, opening day, a start in June. One of the bad ones in August, they're all the same. For me, the way I go prepare, my 5 or 6 day plan is about the same just about every time. A lot of guys would say it's pretty boring, but for me, it's what it takes to get out on the mound and be fully prepared. So that I've got my video done, I've done game planning, everything I've done in the 5 days leading up to it. I can go out there and just focus on executing pitches and attacking the game plan and getting out. So for me, the way I look at the start tomorrow is. I've gone through the same 4 days I had the last 6 months of the season, so I'll be prepared when I go out there tomorrow and go out and have fun.
Making the postseason for any team is never a guarantee, but this club won 101 games last year. They probably figured they'd be back here this year, and they went out and got you this offseason, presumably for this exact purpose to start tomorrow. Have you felt any additional pressure this year, knowing that they're relying on you so heavily, and going into tomorrow that they're relying on you for this?
None. I'm only one person. I can only go out there and do my job. I've kind of preached that all year when we've had guys go down. That at that point, it's the next guy and steps up and fills those shoes. Those of us that are healthy, we can't throw more innings. We can't make more starts. We can't try to do things to make up for guys that go down. So that's always been my mindset of, hey, these guys brought me in. I'm still one person. I'm going to go out there and give them my all every day, and we'll see where we end up. And being healthy and making 30+ starts is kind of my goal every year, and I know that when I'm on the field, I can help a team a lot more than when I'm on the IL. So I take pride in taking care of the body and knowing that when I get out there, usually good things happen.
Corbin, you talked about the struggles in August. What do you think changed for you in your play from August to September?
Yeah, we made a couple of mechanical tweaks. Changed the shape of the cutter a little bit. It's no secret that the cutter kind of drives my game. We made some good changes, and we did pretty good with it. And obviously the results of it showed pretty well in September, so we're in a good spot.
Corbin, could you talk a little bit about how you emphasize controlling the running game over the last 7 to 10 starts?
Yeah, early on, mechanics were a little bit different. A lot longer, slower to the plate, trying to emphasize some other parts of the game. When we kind of made the mechanical tweaks there beginning of September, kind of went back to what we did in 21 and 22, which was makes me a little bit shorter of the plate, makes the leg kick quicker, and just makes the times a lot quicker of the plate, and kind of takes care of itself in that regard. But still we did a lot of work behind the scenes as far as holds and some mixing some different types of picks and stuff. But yeah, just the mechanical changes going back to what I did in 21 fixed a lot of that issue.
Corbin, you mentioned that you treat every starter the same, but this is not your first postseason record. You've been a starter, you've been a reliever in postseason before. What do you learn from those experiences that maybe help you step onto the mound tomorrow and feel like this is another start?
Yeah, postseason games. Obviously, the atmosphere is a lot different. The crowd's going to be in every single pitch that they might be in a regular season game once a week or so. In the postseason, the momentum is huge, and that's something you can feel whether it's the first inning, whether it's the sixth inning, whether it's the ninth inning. So the postseason game isn't necessarily about going out there and trying to score the most runs. It's more about controlling the momentum. If you have the momentum on your side, then chances are you're going to win that baseball game. So you can feel that as a player. Obviously, there's going to be more adrenaline. Games mean a lot more. So just being in that atmosphere before, going through it a bunch of times, you kind of learn ways to slow the game down a little bit, which I'm excited to kind of see some of the young guys that we have that maybe only have the 3 games of postseason experience from last year, or first year playing in the postseason this year. Just talking to them and saying like, hey, you're still playing baseball. A lot of guys try to make it bigger than it is. It's still a baseball game. You still got to go out there. You got to get 27 outs, and you got to score as many runs as possible. So I'm excited for it tomorrow, not only to pitch, but just to kind of see some of these guys in the atmosphere.
Corbin, you talked about your 5-6-day plan. What was the challenge this time around, not knowing what lineup you'll be facing till yesterday afternoon?
Not much. A lot of the 5 and my routine mostly has to do with getting the body ready. Workouts, treatments, that kind of stuff. Had to cram a little bit with the video. Usually I'll spread it out over 2 or 3 days as far as the game plan goes. So really had a day and a half to get it done. I'll finish that up today, but yeah, not all that different. Usually you do it at the field, right? I'll go home and finish a little bit tonight, which isn't that big a deal. But yeah, most of that routine is just more about getting the body ready, getting the mind ready, and just making sure that it's the same and consistent each time.
You mentioned the tweaks you made on the cutter. Was that made one of the best cutters of the year you had in New York? And are you excited about where that pitch is as tomorrow arrives?
I would say the month of August was good. It's hard to discredit the 2 we had against Detroit before that, and yeah, I mean the cutter's in a great spot. When I can go out and command it, obviously that's what I do. When I can command the cutter and kind of throw everything else off of it, I tend to have pretty good results off of that. So we were able to make that change in September, and I think we had 5 starts in September. They were all pretty good. Yep.
What did you say? Did you say anything incendiary to Brandon?
idle speculation. It was idle speculation.
He understands that.
Okay.
Better work.
Yeah, I don't know which direction. I hate when she does this to you, but I love it when she does the other people. Madison sees this. Most falling asleep during
Okay, sorry. Please. I agree. Like, you and I are about to run.
He's coming for your postseason credentials.
Watch the but don't set it. I'm just gonna finish writing one for today. I'm looking for you guys to show me where I find this flexible rate.
I know Jacob had actually showed me where it was. I think he was about to sit next to me.
Right, like, how much is it worth?
What was the club reaction to the Orioles instead of Tigers? And after the game yesterday, you guys are all watching like NFL on the TV. It didn't look like you were obsessing over it.
Yeah, just got to go out there and continue to whoever shows up, just go out there and continue to play our game. We weren't too worried about just like who it would be in the sense. Just got to know that we got to go out there and continue to play. It's postseason, so anything can happen, and they're two outstanding teams. So we're just going out there and trying to play the best ball that we can play.
Gunnar, is there anything you're taking away from last season's experience that you can roll over into preparation for this go around in the postseason?
Yeah, definitely learned on some of the bad experiences that we had there last year in the postseason. Kind of used it to fuel us this year and give us the kick that we need to push through and hopefully make a good run this year.
Gunnar, you played 159 games. It's one of the most in the majors. How important is it to you that you play that often? And how do you feel right now?
Yeah, I feel really good for this point in the year. Body feels really well. I feel like just the staff, the training staff, and the weight room coaches have helped me get my body ready and keep it healthy throughout the year. And I feel like that's the biggest thing is just taking care of it early to help in this point in the year.
Gunnar, this was probably a pretty easy comparison between you and Bobby Witt, the opposing shortstop here, both young guys. Do you talk to him at all? I mean, what's kind of the maybe mutual respect of what you guys as very young players have been able to do so far as shortstops?
Yeah, earlier in the year we had a chance to catch up, and then obviously at the All-Star game we got a chance to talk and stuff. So it's cool, kind of having a guy that you've played with throughout the high school circuits and stuff, and even into pro ball. It's cool having a guy that you can kind of keep up with, and yeah, it's fun watching him out there.
Remember the first time you played against him?
I guess it was in the big leagues. Yeah, because we always played on the same side because we're in relatively the same region in high school stuff.
Gunnar, was getting back Mountcastle and Westburg and Orioles something you guys tangibly felt, or it just made the team better?
Yeah, I mean, we've had them up the whole year, and then obviously it doesn't help when all three of them go down. But being able to get them back and help us in this postseason push was awesome, and just it also got the guys that we're going to need on the bench to get some good experiences as well. Because postseason is going to take every guy on the roster, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do.
What kind of impressions coming into the year of Corbin Burnes, and how much has he lived up to it as the guy who was your opening day starter and now your starter here going into postseason?
Yeah, it's been awesome being able to watch him. I mean, being able to watch it from up the middle and just kind of see how his stuff moves and how he attacks hitters has been really awesome to watch, and really looking forward to him in the postseason atmosphere.
To the extent you've seen Bobby kind of grow as a player and get a little better, does it kind of just feel like he's scratching the surface and, you know, as a guy with just a ceiling that still continues to kind of get raised?
Yeah, he seems like he's progressed each and every year that he's played, and it seems like he's only getting better. So it's really fun to watch and really fun to follow him.
Gunnar, up and down second half of the season for you guys as a team. Do you feel like you guys generated enough momentum to carry you guys through the postseason right now?
Yeah, I mean, the offense started clicking, and the pitchers have been throwing it really well. And, yeah, I felt like it's setting us up to get going, and it seems like we've been putting up a decent amount of runs the past week, and, yeah, hopefully it's setting us up for a good run.
Gunnar, Brandon was talking about the second half struggles and how he kind of hopes that you guys are tougher because of them. Do you feel that way? And I know you come in with more experience from the postseason last year, but do you feel different? Does this team feel different in some sort of character way because you've gone through everything you went through in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, last year we obviously through the regular season didn't get swept, so it wasn't much going against us at that point. And then this year, obviously, we had a little bit of struggle the second half, so I felt like we learned how to go through it earlier and became a little bit more battle tested in that sense. So I feel like it's going to help us in this aspect of the game, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Were there times during the second half, though, where you started to wonder, like, hey, are we going to get back on track? Are we going to be able to make a postseason run? And if so, how did you sort of block out any of those thoughts, knowing, hey, when we get our guys back healthy, we can do this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just a testament to the guys that we have in the clubhouse. I mean, nobody ever thought that we wouldn't get through it. It was just a matter of when. And, yeah, it's tough in time, especially because you keep playing every single day. And it does get tough at some points, but you just got to keep going out there and just keep fighting it until you push through.
What specifically did you learn from going through those hard times? I mean, you, some of the younger players, you guys have never experienced losing really at any point in your professional careers.
Yeah, it's definitely a good learning experience for this early stages, and I know my career specifically, but for a lot of the guys who are just starting theirs as well, is you just got to stick with it. You just got to continue to go out there and put in the work. I mean, it gets repetitive some days, but you just got to go out there and make the most out of each and every day. And baseball is a weird game. All it takes is one swing or one pitch or one play, and just got to go out there and continue to play until it happens.
When you guys look back at your season, do you see Anthony Santander's walk-off as kind of like the turning point for you guys, the moment when you guys kind of, that one swing got you guys back on track?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes all it takes is one swing, and it can kind of take all the pressure off people, and just let us go out there and play freely. And I felt like that was one of them. That was a big swing and a big win at that point in time.
Gunnar, do you let yourself daydream now about what is possible? You're in the postseason where legacies are really cemented, and as a young guy thinking about what the possibilities might be, do you let yourself go there?
No, we just try to, I know as a team and as for myself, we just try to take it one day at a time, one pitch at a time. We just try to get out there and do the best we can with each and every day, and try not to get too far ahead, because you want to ultimately stay in the moment and be where your feet are. And that's what I try to tell myself as well, and just not let things get too far ahead.
Gunnar, when you played with Bobby Witt Jr. coming up throughout high school and on the circuit, did you know he could develop into the guy he is today?
Yeah, of course. I mean, watching him in the high school stuff, he was obviously #1 player in the country, and he was that for a reason. I mean, he did a lot of things exceptionally well, and ultimately you're seeing him at the big league level as well.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can you clarify, did you feel